Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman here with your Wednesday edition of FSU weather. Currently, we're still in those 90s just at the 6 o'clock hour. 95 in Tallahassee, 93 in Quincy, Apalachicola being the exception at just below 90 at 89 degrees. Satellite and radar showing what you see outside, clear skies. All the rain staying off near the coast, even have some showers and storms popping up near the coast, but clear conditions around Tallahassee, just a perfect day if you wanted to do anything outside. But for tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies at a temperature of 72 degrees and just a light wind out of the south-southwest at 3 miles per hour. Tonight, we'll continue to talk about those dry and hot conditions that are going to continue over the next couple days, but we're still going to see those heat indexes values around 100 degrees, and our summer sea breeze will return for the weekend, so we'll see those showers and storms increase as we go into the weekend. All right, I'm going to head it over to Michael with a look at our first local.
Yeah, thanks, Brittany. It was a hot one out there today, but it didn't feel that bad outside with those lower dew points. We'll get into that in just a second. But with that dry air, we got to 96 degrees. Very hot one out there. I was out there earlier today on the range. Very hot indeed. But with those lower dew points, we actually went below 70 degrees as a low, which is pretty rare for July. So that's a treat, honestly, in my opinion. Now, we didn't get any rainfall today, and we are below average for the month because July is a wetter month because of all those summer sea breeze storms. But we are a little bit above average for the year, so we do have a little surplus in the bucket, which is a good thing. Now, the temperatures, we still have 95 here in Tallahassee, 91 in Thomasville, the 89 in Apalachicola. It's very warm outside, but the dew points are absolutely glorious, honestly, for July. A 58-degree dew point for July is unreal, honestly, for Florida standards. So take advantage of this for the next day or so before this changes. 59-degree dew point in Bainbridge, another glorious dew point, honestly, in my opinion. But then once you get down to the coast, you're near the Gulf, so you do have those higher dew points. So it's feeling a little bit more uncomfortable outside down towards Apalachicola. Now, with those lower dew points, this is a rare thing also. The heat index is below the air temperature in Tallahassee and Bainbridge. That is, again, a treat for July. So, again, take advantage for this because we're expecting changes by the time we get to the weekend. 91 is your heat index in Thomasville, also below the air temperature as well. With that drier air and lower dew points, we're not seeing any activity in the inland locations. The showers and storms are confined to the coast because of the sea breeze, the typical pattern we usually expect in July. Now, again, the sea breeze is being limited to the coast because we're still getting some northerly winds in our inland location. That's what's bringing in the dry air and dew points below 60 degrees in some locations in the Big Bend region. And we're going to continue with that into tonight. As you can see, a lot of clear skies. But then as we go into tomorrow, the sea breeze starts to get a little bit more inland than these past few days. So don't be surprised if you see a shower or two. But don't really count on it. We're thinking the showers are going to hold off until later Friday, and especially as we head into the weekend, as we return to our normal summertime pattern. But for tonight, it's going to cool down quickly with that drier air. 72 in Tallahassee, and I won't be surprised if some of the inland locations in Georgia get down towards 70 degrees, maybe even into the 60s like they've been the last 2 days or so. And then for tomorrow, another hot one out there, 97 in Bainbridge, 93 in Tallahassee, and then cooler down towards the coast with 91 in Apalachicola. Your 7-day forecast shows you how the return of the summertime pattern with those rain chances increasing by the weekend. Let's send off to Jennifer with the national forecast.
We're actually gonna take a wider picture. Looking at the southeast, we're seeing some hot temperatures across most of the southeast of the country. 93 degrees right now in Dallas. We're seeing mostly sunny skies with some few clouds here and there across those locations. The rainfall is staying mainly towards our north as we do have a cold front just towards the north of the southeast. However, 95 degrees in Montgomery. Like Michael was saying, we have low dew points across most of the southeast, especially in the Tallahassee area, so it's actually keeping temperatures. Even though they're in the 90s, we're seeing temperatures below the actual heat index is below the actual temperature. About 94 degrees for Tallahassee, 98, however, in Atlanta, so they're getting close to the 100-degree mark, whereas in Montgomery, they're already reaching above the century mark. They're actually seeing 101 degrees in that location. More towards the west, we're seeing 102 in Little Rock as well as 97 degrees in Dallas. These are due to the dew points across most of the region. We have higher dew points across areas like Alabama, Mississippi, even into Louisiana. With those higher dew points, you're also going to see the higher heat index values. However, locations where they have lower dew points, we're actually staying below the 100-degree mark. So like in Florida, like in Tallahassee, we're actually seeing 58-degree dew points, so that means our heat indexes are going to be quite lower. Our winds are coming out of the south for some areas of the Florida panhandle. Even along the peninsula, we're not actually seeing that much storm development because the convergence of winds are not happening in those locations. However, for most areas of Texas, we're actually seeing the Gulf moisture making their way into some areas along the coastline, so that's why we do have some higher dew points along the coast. Your radar is indicating some showers and storms across the peninsula of Florida. That is due to a sea breeze conversion in those areas. We also have a swath of moisture across most of Louisiana, even into Arkansas, and we'll also see the rain in those locations too. We even have some lightning associated with these storms as well. Your future radar is going to show that we'll have the rain across most of New Orleans and into Louisiana throughout tonight. By tomorrow, though, things should calm down. We'll only have some cloud covering here and there, maybe a shower in Houston area. Over Florida, though, we'll actually see fairly clear conditions, maybe some storms off the coast and in the Gulf. However, by tomorrow afternoon is when we'll start to see the sea breeze and the showers and storms developing. So we'll take a look at that heading into tomorrow. Tonight, though, 77 degrees for New Orleans. Some showers and storms heading throughout tonight. However, by tomorrow, we're going to see the showers and storms across areas like Louisiana and even on into Central and South Florida.
All right, let's take a look at our national picture. We're seeing those hot conditions for most of the southeast. 93 in Dallas-Fort Worth, 96 in Memphis, and even down in San Antonio, 91 degrees. If you want cooler weather, you're going to have to head more west. 71 in San Francisco, 79 and under those partly cloudy skies in Seattle. Feeling really nice over there. Now, dew points, where you see the lower dew points and more of this beige brownish color, you'll see those drier conditions. 51 in Salt Lake City, 55 in San Francisco. When you head off more towards the central United States, you're seeing a lot of moisture, a lot of humidity lingering around. 75 in Minneapolis, 66 in Kansas City, and 58 in Tallahassee. That's where you see that dry air that we saw come in yesterday is still lingering around. So we're seeing those drier conditions over in our area, allowing that heat index, as we said, to be below our actual temperature at 94 degrees. But 100 in Kansas City, where you saw that higher dew point, they're feeling much warmer over there. 87 in Albuquerque, and feeling nice over in San Francisco at 71 degrees. Satellite radar showing some fronts draping over the country, allowing some rain, some dry air, some humidity to go around for all of most of the country. Looking over near Minnesota and over the Canadian border, you'll see those rains moving towards the east. Those will be lingering around over the next couple hours. As you head more towards south, most of Iowa is under a heat advisory until 9 p.m. So it's really feeling hot out there. Make sure you're hydrated. And we also have that air quality warning right over near Kansas City. So if you have any allergies or you're sensitive, you want to stay indoors. Moving down to the southwest, this is good. We have a lot of rain in the area, but we do have that flash flood warning and flash flood watch is in effect. You'll see that watch in that green box and the warnings in the red box. A lot of this rain is causing just flooding, localized flooding, so you want to be careful of that. But I say it's a good thing because of the drought conditions. This will update tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see a lot of this exceptional drought right over the Four Corners area disappear or just decrease in the severity of the drought conditions. But for tonight, we'll see some nice conditions over in Denver, 64 degrees. You have that chance of rain over in Billings at 61 degrees. Washington, D.C., a beautiful night, 72 degrees. And when you head more south, 77 in New Orleans and rainy. It's going to be a rainy and muggy night ahead. For tomorrow, another similar day today, 90s all over the southeast, 92 in Memphis, 77 in sunny in Boston, and when you head over more west, 96 in Dallas-Fort Worth, 90 in Denver. You'll see sunny skies. You'll go from a nice cool temperature all the way up to 90, 83 in Billings, and San Francisco, Los Angeles is where I want to be at 79 degrees. All right, let's head it over to Michael to take a look at the tropics.
Yeah, we're still tracking Chris here, but it is racing off towards Newfoundland as we speak. You can see the motion on Chris right now, 25 miles per hour, moving up to the northeast. And you can still see a very distinct eye with Chris right now. It's being picked up by a mid-level trough right now on the eastern U.S. coast. That's what's been making it steam off towards Canada after meandering around the Carolina coast for a few days. But we are expecting some pretty windy conditions. By the time you can see how we it changes from a Category 1 to low. What that really means, it becomes non-tropical. It loses its characteristics. It comes from a warm core to a cold core, and it's going to affect Newfoundland, a lot of Newfoundland. Surprisingly, Newfoundland had snow 3 weeks ago, and now they're going to experience a pretty strong non-tropical system by the time it gets up there in tomorrow and into Friday morning. Now, the spaghetti plots are in very good agreement with Chris, basically making a beam line towards St. John's in Newfoundland, and then it will go across the Atlantic and head towards Ireland and Scotland. The wind field, you can see how the hurricane force winds dissipate as it gets into those colder waters, and then we basically have minimal tropical storm force winds and gusts. But again, even though it's tropical storm force winds, it can still be breezy, and this is going to be mainly an issue for a lot of the sailors and marine people out there. Now, the reason why it's going to weaken and become non-tropical is because it's going into cooler waters. A tropical system requires at least 80 degrees in order to be tropical. Once it gets into that cooler waters, it loses the warm core, it becomes cold core. Basically, it's the same system, but we just call it different. So don't treat it like anything else. It's basically just a different way of calling the system. And then the wave heights, you can see a lot of higher waves around the core of Chris, but then off towards the New England coastline, we do have wave heights of 2 to 3 feet. So as a result, we have those small craft advisories for all the boaters out there. So just take caution if you want to head out onto the Cape these next day or so. Just be aware of that. You can see Chris racing off towards Newfoundland and bringing the rain and wind with it. And then it will head off into the North Atlantic, basically affecting sailors. And then we are finished with Alberto, that subtropical storm from last month. Beryl might reform in the Bahamas, but very unlikely. And then Chris, we're going to check that off in the next few days. But let's send it off to Jennifer with the local.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at temperatures right now here in the Tallahassee area. We're keeping things at around 95 degrees. However, we have lower dew points, so we actually feel like temperatures are below the actual temperature. We have feels like temperature of 94 degrees with a few clouds here and there to give us some relief in these hot temperatures. Locally, though, across the Big Bend region, we're looking at 91 degrees for Thomasville. A bit higher in Bainbridge, we're looking around 95 degrees there. 89 degrees along the coast in Apalachicola. They actually saw a shower earlier, which cooled them off a little bit compared to areas like Tallahassee. Dew points, though, are very low for most areas of the Big Bend region. For this time of the year, we don't really see dew points like this. We're seeing 50s, even some 60s on the map. So it is bringing the feels like temperatures down. We actually see heat indexes below the actual temperatures for most of the Big Bend region. However, where we see the higher dew points and the higher temperature is where we actually see the 100-degree dew points, 100 degrees heat indexes for areas like Apalachicola. However, with the lower heat indexes in most of the map, it feels a little bit better than what it really should feel like. The radar is indicating that we don't really have many showers and storms across the Big Bend region. We have a few here and there due to the sea breeze activity that's happening along our southern areas and areas like Apalachicola as well as Panama City. They actually could see a showers and storm here and there, but along the Big Bend, areas like Bainbridge and Valdosta, not seeing many showers or storms. Future radar is indicating higher chances for clouds heading into the morning hours, heading into Thursday. However, by the afternoon, we'll start to see the sea breeze activity, so we'll even have some higher rain chances heading into tomorrow afternoon. Could even see a shower or storm around the Tallahassee area, mainly towards the west, however. Tonight's forecast is going to be a warm one. We'll see temperatures around 71 degrees for Thomasville, 72 degrees here in Tallahassee, but take a look. We don't have any rain chances along the map for tonight, so we'll keep things fairly cloudy throughout most of the region. Tomorrow's forecast is going to be a warm one similar to today, 94 degrees for Thomasville as well as 93 degrees here in Tallahassee, 91 degrees along Apalachicola, so if you're heading out to the beach, it should be a good beach day. Tomorrow's planner, when you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll have mainly clear skies, 73 degrees by the 7 a.m. 11 a.m. will start to heat up quite a bit, 87 degrees, but by 3 p.m., 93 degrees. It's going to feel like a fairly warm day, especially with higher dew points. It could actually feel like into the mid-90s for some areas. Your 7-day forecast showing minimal rain chances heading throughout Thursday and Friday, only a 20% chance of rain for those 2 days. But by the weekend is when rain chances start to ramp back, and we'll even see some temperatures, 92 degrees for Saturday and Sunday. You can also follow us on social media at FSU Weather, and you can also watch us anytime on YouTube, youtube.com/FSU Weather.